Hello everyone, Reverend619 here. I hope you're all having a great day, except for if you're a gold seller. So welcome back to another episode of Hot Trash Gold Sellers trying to pass off as builds. So this has to be one of the worst channels I've seen for this. A fella called Running Butcher. Not that many subs, but very high views. So he's playing the game, so I can respect him trying to hustle and scam people. Well, to some extent, but I mean, I expect the work ethic, less so much the scam. But yeah, he's got some things going on here. Normally, I just go straight into a build video, but he's trying to pass off new secret area, and he's explaining about some lightning spells that everyone has. This weapon is broken, a weapon everyone's used. New meta, nothing has changed. It's just him reading the patch notes. This weapon is broken. That weapon is not broken. Discovering new things that change everything. He's discovered a few glitches everyone else has been using for a while now. He's actually quite far behind if you only put it out yesterday. The rarest, most OP bleed weapon known to... It's literally the scavenge everyone's been using since day one. But anyway, yep, room farm, secret armor, even though it's just the mausoleum set. So yeah, this guy has been trying his hardest, and his build videos actually haven't had as much engagement. But I am a huge fan of occult builds. Now, if I was to have a main build for dueling... So if I was always doing 1v1, it would be an occult build with multiple weapon swaps. So this is the one that interests me the most. So let's check out his occult build. So a little bit of a spoiler there on the stats. So if we move him, he has a nice little opening. I don't dislike how he sets up his videos, showing it off. He's obviously not too keen on what he's using, because as you watch through the video, his armor set constantly changes, his weapons constantly change, and from that little clip, you're like, "Whoa, that's a lot of damage, my guy." Like he's going in against Melina here. He's like, "Whoa, look at my damage! I'm using frost and bleed at the same time." And I was like, "Wow, how could you optimize frost and bleed? You know, things that use different stats. So one's intelligence, one's occult. This sounds great." He annihilated the first phase with his mimic. Didn't show the second phase, so I'm assuming he absolutely got destroyed, which is why he didn't show it off. But naturally, here's his gold selling that he's pimping out. That's the whole reason these videos are here. It's nothing to do with the game. It's nothing to do about growing his channel. It's nothing to do with giving back to the community or even sharing a passion. It's to get you to buy into the scam that's being sold here. So he's using Bloodhound Step with the Beastmans, and yeah, that's not too bad. I don't know why he called this an occult build. You see, the special thing about occult is it scales damage of arcane very nicely, and normally, because anything that has innate bleed, if you put that on an occult build, it will actually do a lot of damage and be more effective than most bleed weapons, especially if you then put Sepku on. So look, you got all these people who are really happy with this guy's gold selling build, so it must be good. So yeah, let's actually get into this build here. And I watched this 10 seconds before I started recording, and you should have heard my reaction when I saw that level 407 for this quote-unquote build. Oh my god, I almost choked on my own breath, and oh my goodness, this guy probably wishes I would have done after looking at this. What the hell is happening here? Now, I know Elden Ring is not a competitive game, and it's got a big casual market, so not everyone is going to want to play to the sort of the PvP meta areas. So the sort of good level areas to go is like level 40, level 80, level 120, level 150, even up to level 200. I've seen people happily get like engagements for co-op and invasions. Now, the reason the community sets these levels isn't to try and restrict or hinder ourselves. It's to sort of balance the gameplay and have the largest number of pools of players, which is why often when I show off a build, I don't say the level I'm at. I don't want to push people towards 120 or 150 because that's creating a divide. Interestingly enough, you could play 130 or 140. You can play with the 120s and the 150s, and then you could have a main build if you ever wanted to do like competitive dueling at both levels. But if you just wanted to have the biggest player pool, you'd be between the two. But yeah, this man is like, yo, come check out my build, YouTube. Level 407, best build. Oh my goodness, like. What are you meant to do with this rubbish? He doesn't even know what he wants to do with it. He's got one Beastman curve sword on it. He's got another Beastman curve. He's got an Antspur rapier in the offhand for some reason. He's got the Blood Proc Talisman, but I guess because you're using build. He's put a coat on one of his bleed weapons here. Well, what it would have been bleed if he had bleed on it. From the video, he was using bleed and frost, but now in his stat screen, it's occult and bleed. So he's not consistent throughout his footage. I guess he had recorded stuff and he didn't want to record something new for this. He's put on Maleficent's prosthesis, gives him +5 dex because he needs that +5 dex. But he successive attack increase. He's got the successive attack increase and the increased jumping attacks. Hot trash. None of this is optimized for what he's using in his playstyle. His weapon's not even +25. How are you level 407, but you haven't been to the final area of the game to get like the 6 or 8 upgrade materials, or even gone to New Game Plus to get more? Like, he's got 23 poise. He's got 23 poise and 40 endurance and Bloodhound Step. Like, you could be fat rolling and still be fine with Bloodhound Step. What is you doing? What is you doing? Like, oh, there's no real saving this. It is just horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. Like, yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I've got rot and blood loss. It's great. It's like, oh no. Oh no. It's like, I like that helmet for fashion. Everything else terrible. He's obviously using his mimic. He hasn't even finished his flask. How are you level 407 but you haven't explored the areas to get maximum? Like, does he show himself beating any decent bosses with this? Early level boss, new game, early level boss. He beat the first place. Oh no, he's got Commander Neil. Does he actually beat him? Oh yeah, like for level 407, my man's doing some damage here. But he's also using the Mimic, so... And the Mimic's almost dead, so I feel like the Mimic might have put in a lot of work. So he's obviously not shown off the first half of that. Yeah, he's beating one of... Well, that's a normal mob, but that can also be a boss. That's a normal mob that is technically a boss. He doesn't show, obviously, the second half of the Makila fight, so I'm assuming he lost, which is why he didn't show him beating her. Like, he shows the first half, but he doesn't show the second half, so I'm assuming he actually couldn't beat her for his little video. So, let's see if we can actually recover this. Now, as I said before, Beastman's Curved Sword does not have any natural bleed. So Occult, it's not the best. But there is a way we can save this in curved swords, because we do have curved swords that have bleed in it. One of those rare curved swords that he says no one's found. We have the Bant's curved sword, which is not the bleed one, but I think I got that wrong when I looked at his earlier video. I think he was talking about the Bandit's curved sword when he said that rare sword that no one found. So I thought I'd correct that whilst we're in the mid here rather than re-recording it. But no, we want the Scavenger's curved sword, which is, if I'm not blind, it's that. So the Scavenger's curved sword has natural bleed scaling it, which means when you occult infuse it, you then keep the bleed, but also get the scaling from the arcane. So this is the weapon we're going to want to then look at. So if we're going to optimize this build, we're going to need that. We want this 9 here. We want 14 here. Now, if we actually look at where the breakpoints are for the stats, so if we're going for the occult infusion, we've got a minor breakpoint at 56 and a major one at 80. So anywhere between 56 and 80 is fine. And for bleed build up, the actual cap is 45. So you want to hit that 45, and then you can get anywhere up to 80, and you'll be absolutely fine for all the damage purposes. So also, we've had a big buff to mine, so you can actually go up to 16 mine down. It was the same as about 20 before. I think you're getting around 100 at 16, so that's not too bad. Yeah, we want that 60. Let's say 25 just to begin with, and arcane 45. Level 107, and we've already got an absolutely fantastic build here. So we can then slowly start working on improving it. Maybe we will want to get a little bit more endurance in there. And then maybe you want to go up to 120 for dueling. So bam, 53. Or maybe you're playing 125 because that's also popular. And hey, look, there's that 58. That's it's like a number. Actually, well, that's quality, but 56 there. And if you want to go up to 150, you're like, oh wow, I've still got all this left over here. So I could be like, oh, here we go. So we're at 80 and we still got points left over. Maybe I can squeeze out some more points. And there you go. You've now got a way more effective bleed build than he's using. You can put a Bloodhound Step on the right one, so you can still keep his little Bloodhound Step idea. And then you put Seppuku on the left one, and then you can get instant L1 bleed procs. And this is actually a very devastating build. It's one I've shown before. And yeah, this thing will decimate people. And that's a big way we can improve this. But yeah, this This YouTuber, man, like, he takes it to a whole nother level. Like, this is the guy that used to hang out outside schools trying to tell people, like, yeah, if you trade me your Charizard Pokemon card, I'll give you these 10 cards of all of these really cool things, and it's all just common trash. Like, he was that guy. He was that guy who was bullying small children, tricking them out of their Pokemon. Like, oh my. Also, no strength, not max strength. Like, technically the scaling goes over it. So you when you two-hand, you go 99 strength. But, like, most broken, secret katana, most broken. Actually, he's used that thumbnail twice. Even got lazy, scamming himself. But, yeah, we've hit 10 minutes here, so I'm not going to waste too much more of your time. But, yeah, that's how you fix that build. And, oh, we didn't even talk about the talismans. Sorry, guys. You don't need Lord of Bloods, but you can use it. Erdtree's +2 will be good. Poise Talisman. We want Poise. Like, for this kind of build, Poise. Try to get to at least 101 Poise, and if you want to go up higher, do it. Doesn't matter. If you want to use, say, the Turtle Talisman, if you want fast regen, also good. If you want to use the Life Talisman to get a little bit more, you can then also quick swap that over to the Life Dew Talisman for regen afterwards. Or you could even use the Shield Talisman, and then you can use, like, the new version of the Blue Tear Stone when low. It depends what you want to use. If you want to use jumping attacks, you can use jumping attacks, because they're perfectly usable with the Claw Talisman. But you're never really, against players, going to get much use out of Maleficent's Prosthesis or even this, especially with the bleed procs, because you'll just kill them too quick. But you could even throw on the White Master X damage boost, but again, you don't really need it for the bleed procs. But if you want to use them, feel free. You can even use the not Alexander's Shard, but the actual Great Jar, so you could get more carry weight if you needed to get into like more armor for more poise. But yeah, you definitely don't want to build it the way he's done, where he's gone level 407. This is a build. It's not a build. You're scamming people. All you're really here for is this. This is all this guy's here for. Is just get people to click on that. That's why he just pops out. Make sure you pop a dislike on stuff like this. But you feel free to go check out his videos. They're actually, he puts together the videos well. I would have no problem with this guy if he wasn't, like, you know, trying to sell a scam and then just putting out bad information like because people who play at 407, they're not going to have anyone to play with. Anyone that tries to copy this is going to have a really bad time, because then they're not going to be able to play with anyone. So yeah, for over leveling, build scam, no consistent build. Like all of his clips are different to what his actual build is, because I can see the buffs that he's using as we're watching these clips, and you will see them change as it goes through. So you can, like, he's got a Source Seal there. It's completely different. It's a completely different setup. Like, he doesn't even have Lord of Blood there. Then over here, he's got, obviously, the damage increase ones. He's put on some other buffs here, which I don't know if he explains which buffs he's using with, like, the turtleneck and stuff. But, yeah, he doesn't have the regen one on, but he does have the damage one actually on his bar here. He's got buffs, but you don't need any of them. They're just poopy. They're just like, an occult build just doesn't need them. Like, he's just, it's the everything. Like, I've criticized people who want to play at 150 in the past for saying that you don't know how to optimize a build for, like, sub 100, because you want to be able to have high poise, you want to be able to have high melee and spells. But this guy, man, he went 407. So yeah, so for just all of these things, and the fact that he's trying to advertise it so OP, and he keeps teasing him fighting Melina, and because he couldn't beat her, he just doesn't include the second half of the video because he couldn't win. So yeah, so this has to be the worst one out of all of those things. I'm gonna have to give this one a 0 out of 10. Like, yeah, this guy, this is really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like, yeah, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to get in trouble for bullying, but yeah, 0 out of 10. Till next time, guys. Yeah, see you all.